All right. Well, we're going to do some more problems on how to find solutions of a trigonometric functions or expressions with a restricted domain. I also provided some other strategies on how you can solve these that are just a little different in my other videos. So maybe this will be a good source and help for you, but maybe not. So let's see how it works. All right. So first off, when you want to find solutions of interval, the first step is you want to solve for the trigonometric function. Now, the thing is that when you have two separates, this is a little bit more complex, but when you have two separate ones, we want to is create a function that we can solve from. So from here, we have 2 sine of x plus cosecant of x. Now, generally, whenever we have problems like this, we want to get into terms of sine and cosine. Okay, so the first thing is put in terms of sine and cosine. Sine and cosine, if possible, put in terms. Because the reason why is because we cannot solve anything down here with trigonometric functions of cosecant. So with this, we're going to write at 2 sine of x plus cosecant is 1 over sine of x. Okay. So now when we have this here, we're now going to get a common denominator. Okay. So now we're going to get a common denominator. And from this point, in this common denominator, where it's going to be sine, so we have 2 sine of x, multiply top and bottom by sine of x. And then we're going to have this plus 1 over sine of x. That's going to equal 0. From this point, what we're going to do is we're going to combine these, and we have 2 sine squared of x plus 1 whole over sine of x. Now, this is going to be a really important thing that we want to know and do, is that we want to combine these first. So we create an expression like this. This is called a rational expression. And then what we're going to do is we're going to find when this equals 0. Well, whenever you have a fraction, fractions equals 0 when the numerator equals 0. You can also multiply both sides by the denominator. So really, when we do this, we're going to just look at the numerator right here because that's the only time where a fraction will equal 0, right? So 0 over 5 is 0. 5 over 0, though, is undefined, and that's why we don't want this one. We always want to have the numerator equal to 0. So really, from this point on, we're just going to be solving this expression. Okay, so from here, we're going to continue to solve for the first check mark, continue to solve this expression by taking minus 1 right there. We're going to now divide by 2 right here. And now what we have is sine squared of x. And when you have this right here, and looking at this, we realize we're going to take the square root, and sine of x equaling the square root plus or minus negative 1/2. Well, if we did everything right, which I believe we did, we realize something weird happens because when you take the square root of a negative, that becomes an imaginary number, I. And guess what? There is no solution to this problem. Yeah, no solution to this problem. Now, that can be a little bit tricky. We can also do this and verify this graphically. Yeah, we can verify this graphically. So if you wanted to, you can take out your calculators. I'll pause this for a second. So if you want to take out your calculators and graph, so if you got your calculators out and you took some time and now graph this expression right here in your calculator. I did that right there. And I'm going to put this in your y equals. And what we want to do is we want to set this right here as our one side. And if you want to go down, you want to put this as the other side, 0. The other thing you want to do is because we have a restricted domain, go to your window. And you want to change your x min. I made it to 0. This is actually 2 pi. This is actually pi over 12. I'm going from negative 5 to 5. So you can copy that down. Pause the video if you want to put that in there. But we're going to do that right now. And so now we're going to graph this. Make sure your mode is in radians, which mine is. And when we're looking at this, we're graphing this. And you can see the graph, because this is from 0 to 2 pi. You see the graph never intersects 0. And therefore, we verified there is no solution to this function. Pretty awesome, right? So right here, we tried solving this. We realized that we can solve it. We verified it using our calculator. And so this is one of the tricky ones where there is no solution. Okay. Well, I hope this helps you out when you get stuck on a problem and that you can have no solutions to ones. So well, I'm going to do some more in some other videos, but good luck and God bless in the rest of your problems.